Apa dah jadi, apa dah jadi, sampai sekarang rasuah lagi. Apa nak jadi, apa nak jadi, sampai sekarang ambil dan bagi. Tak boleh jadi. Ini cerita pasal si Abu. Kalau nak sembang pasal rasuah, hai memang dialah yang nombor satu. Macam mana tak hebat, mak bapak pun juara. Shopping kat overseas, parti atas bot besar gila. Hai memang selambat. Hai!
Greeting Malaysia and followers from around the world. Apa nak jadi? Welcome to our special Merdeka and Malaysia Day special edition. Our theme is MERDEKA-kan Malaysia dari Rasuah, or Free Malaysia from Corruption. Joining us tonight is Zubedy, aka Ahui from Penang, who is a trainer, author, moderation, advocate, and Rasuah buster. So he is the deputy sheriff or the sheriff, right? And of course, the one and only Douglas Lim, actor, comedian, and now DJ. Keep it real. And of course, he has just been appointed the Minister of Comedy, the only one that's worthwhile and accepted by Malaysians.
Too much.
Got you in trouble, bro.
Yeah, he's the only one who can do food review and nobody will criticize. They all buy. Okay, Douglas, the hottest video, as far as I'm concerned, is the one on corruption. Apa nak jadi? I really love it. Maybe it's because that I'm from old school. So when I heard that song, of course, it reminded me of the late Tan Sri S.M. Salim. Yeah. Why did you choose that concept and that particular song for this video?
No, actually, the creative part of that was Rasuah Busters, I think, and Anas and his group, who made that creative decision. And they came to me and they said, "Hey, Douglas, we got this idea. This is the song we're thinking of using." And I was like, perfect. It's the perfect song because it's a strong chorus and then storytelling. That's the structure of the song. And my only concern was, hey, can we show this or not? We got the rights or not? And they said, no, we go and talk to them. They said the rights are good to go. Yeah, good to go. We just got to perform the song.
We got it from Warner Brothers. Basically, what happened was, there's a little bit of a story behind it. Yeah.
Okay.
You see, my mom, I talk to my mom every day on the WhatsApp. Yeah. And to remind, I have a reminder to call my mother. And the reminder is the song Apa Dah Jadi. The reason being is every time my mom call me, she'll ask me when I'm going to get married. So that's the if you listen to the song carefully, is sampai when you get married. The song says, okay.
Sampai sekarang.
Tak kahwin lagi. Yeah.
So what happened was I was singing the song and I said apa dah jadi sampai sekarang rasuah lagi. I said, hey, this can be used, ma. So I brought it to the team, and the team. This is about somewhere in March this year, and the team loves it. And we decided to find a way to do it. We get Warner Brothers to give us the rights to use the song.
Anas, it's Warner Music, not Warner
Music. Sorry. It's Warner Music, bro. Warner Music, yeah. Warner Music. Thanks for correcting me. And what happened was, while we are looking who should be the best to do this, and remember, I saw you with Douglas on this podcast, and then I call you. I say, hey, bro, you got Douglas number? No, give me Douglas number. Then I call him lah. And that's how it started. That's how Douglas came into the picture.
And in terms of the thing that came in, so it was written predominantly in a northern Malay dialect. Am I right, Anas?
Yeah, it was actually when we got the idea, we got a group of people to think of the lyrics. And there's this guy called Nan Hidayat from Sinar Harian. He came out with very proper, So I had the lyrics, but I passed it to Mr. Douglas Lim. I say, hey, bro, you use your creativity come up with something different and want it to be more multiracial and all that. And Douglas, I think you want to tell your story, how that happened.
Oh yeah, so because pass it to me, then I was trying the song out with the -1. I was like, hey, dude, I can't get all the words in. And I was singing it, and it didn't feel natural because it was Logat Utara lah, which I'm not, you see.
Yes, yes.
And so then I said, hey, and I think if I just do full West Songkok, do the whole thing in Malay, I think cannot, sure cannot whack on. So we better add one Chinese, add one Indian to be safe lah, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, then because of that I had to change some of the lyrics, but the message was essentially the same. And what we didn't want, especially both Anas and myself, was what we didn't want was the performance, the whole idea to be hijacked by people thinking it's racial. Because it's not.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're trying to highlight corruption. You know, but if we did it in a particular way, we weren't careful, it's going to be hijacked. And you see lah, racist lah, then gone.
Yeah. And that concept of putting on the songkok with you dancing away, that's yours, I believe, right?
Yeah, once you put on the songkok, you just tend to do that.
ChunWai, I must tell you this. And when he sent me, he was very careful. Douglas is really professional. ChunWai, you can have all the best ideas in the world, but you don't have great people to execute it with semangat, with that kind of spirit, you cannot get a good job. And what happened was when I passed to Douglas, he keep on asking me so many times, okay or not, that one okay or not, very, very professional. And when he sent me his first video with the green screen behind, I was looking at it. I sent him a message, hey bro, you are so fishing good. I say, so very good. I say, wow. Wow. And then I sent to the team, and they also very excited. We can't wait anymore to see how the end product going to be. Very professional, bro. Very.
Anas, you keep on saying everything okay. You didn't get the hint from Douglas. You pay him okay or not?
Okay, you see, Douglas, one thing good is from the start, I told him that, look, guy, no, bro, we don't really, we are not really a money-making organization.
I've heard that before.
So he immediately, offered an extremely,
national service.
National service.
No, also because I agree. I actually agree with the activation. I agree with the message. I agree with the what do you call that, initiative. So it was a no-brainer for me, I felt.
Yeah. What about the undersized songkok? I think you could do better with a new songkok.
Yeah, that was my fault, because when he said, I have a baju Melayu, which is also undersized, by the way. I think I tend to I underestimate how fat I am. I think that's the problem. So if people ask me what size, I'm like, yeah, normal lah, L. Actually, I'm more than L. So it was this guy who was my baju Melayu story is actually quite, I would say, sad, but basically someone reached out to me. This was during the Raya Puasa. This time they opened the bazaars, and then our cases started going up and up and up and up, right? And so this guy already had, he was going to open a stall. He already bought all his kain, he bought all the stock, and then we shut. And so he was like, Douglas, I'm writing. He just wrote to me like anonymously, like he wrote to me, like we didn't have any connection. He said like, bro, this has happened. I don't know what to do. I've got all this. Could I send you to, and could you just post it up? And I agreed. And so one of that baju is from him lah. And I wore that. But then Anna said, do you have a songkok? I was like, dude, I have no songkok. I'm very bad with traditional. I don't even have a Chinese traditional like outfit. I mean, I've got the batik. Like that's like Chinese traditional for Genting. Like not proper Chinese traditional. And so Anas was kind enough to buy a songkok for me.
Okay.
And when I asked him, he said his size is normal. So I bought the medium size one. So that's why it's a bit undersized, just a little undersized. Not...
What about the Douglas? What about the three characters that you came up with? The Malay guy, the Indian guy, and of course the Chinese guy. I've seen the Chinese character before from the previous video, but this Indian guy, this Kabali looking guy, is it inspired by Kabali, or I mean?
Yes,
sounded like
actually
Kabali.
it's before Kabali. It's MGR in Shivaji the Boss. Yeah.
Zubedy, yes.
So I had another video featuring myself acting like MGR, like Shivaji the Boss, and so with the head one and all that. So so that's Shivaji. Then the Chinese guy is basically Thunder Kiat, who's in all my videos. But it was because also the song, the lyrics, when Anas gave it to me, showed it to me, it already contained this Alim and this Mutu and this Abu. So I thought it it was only fitting lah to include these 3 characters.
How long did the shooting took place, and how many retakes you had to do, or just one go wrap it up?
No way. this one was tough, and I was telling Anas about it. I didn't realize how tough it was until so it's 2-step process for this one, for the shooting process lah. Step 1 is recording the song. Then later only I have to lip sync. I have to move my lips according to the song lyrics. Recording the song took about 3 hours to do because I didn't realize this, but Tan Sri SM Salim's song, this one, only the chorus has a rhythm. The chorus is you can follow dam do dum da dam da dam da dam do dum da dam. That once he goes into verse, it's basically he does whatever he wants and the orchestra follows. So there's no timing. There's no timing. How to catch, because I don't have an orchestra. I've only got a -1.
Okay.
So I'm there waiting for the -1 waiting for me. Like both of us, like who go first? You know. So that was just to record the music part, the song. Then when I had to lip sync, also we had to catch the timing because there's no drum going tick 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 for me to follow. So the recording took 3 hours. The shooting took about 4, I think. A lot of bad takes. But I mean, we could cut between the 3 characters.
Of these 3 characters that you played, which one is your favorite?
Of course, MGR lah.
This is the second time he appeared, right?
Yeah. He was in another video about making money.
Okay, yes. So I've noticed that he's making his second appearance in your video. Now, now that you are the king of comedy, you're hot. Okay. Has your schedule changed tremendously? Requests from clients asking you how much you are charging, and can you endorse this product, that product? And on top of that, you are now really the DJ, man. Keep it real.
No, I keep it real. It's not the DJ. Keep it real is the character who disturbs the DJ. But a lot of people think, so no. But I am a morning announcer now with Fly FM. So that is taking up a large chunk of my time. But I mean, it's my first time working under a big organization. I'm still learning the ropes. I think they've got a lot to offer me in terms of my development. Hopefully I'm also bringing something of value to them, but it's been very good. Doing videos like the one like with Anas and Rasuah Busters, doing videos like that, doing videos that call out everyday life, those videos are not the ones that make the money. I do them because it's awareness and it's fun to do, and people like watching it. But because of those videos, then I get branded videos, and that's what makes the money. But I still try and make them as entertaining as possible. I'm not one of those who just I use this handphone, very nice megapixel camera. I'll try and do something funny lah.
What time do you have got to go to the studio now?
I've got to leave my house at about 4:45 in the morning to. It's okay because my there's a mosque is literally outside. No, but even then it's before. Mosque only starts at 5 o'clock. So I wake up about 4, and then I leave at about 4:45 to get to the studio by 5:15, and then we start prepping because we go on air at 6.
Wow.
Anas, sembahyang subuh is what time?
5:55 to 6 like that.
Okay,
it
so
moves, bro.
lah.
It moves. It moves. It moves.
So your show is between from 6 to 10. Wow. How much planning is involved in this radio thing? Is it a scripted thing, or is just it's just 2 DJs talking? It's quite impromptu.
It really depends. It depends on the station and what direction they have. But when they got me on board, I told them very strictly. I said I'm not an impromptu guy.
Okay.
I'm not a spontaneous guy. Don't put me there. Here, Douglas, let's talk about this. Let's just have a conversation. I'm not interested. I mean, if I'm having a conversation, I'll have it with you, and it will not be recorded. It's not a performance. A performance for me is a performance. That means we sit down, we plan, we go through stuff, and then we record it. And so we have come to that agreement. And so for us for my show in Fly FM, it's planned. It's rehearsed, and then it's presented.
Okay. All right. Douglas, I just want to take a step further to ask Anas this question. Can you tell us a bit about the Rasuah Buster that you have been involved in? How long has this movement been going on, and what is the response?
Okay, Rasuah Busters, we can say it started somewhere in February this year. So it's only about 6 months, yeah. January, there was a talk about it between Dato' Usamuddin, myself, and a few others. And somewhere in February, the 14 of us got together and we created this thing called Rasuah Busters. Yeah. And from there, what happened was we decided to, one of the best way to move forward is to create a coalition of willing. So one of the things we did from the very beginning was we are not going to work alone. If you remember, we had this Mak Kata Jangan video. That one is to our first bang to let the Malaysian know that we exist. Yeah, besides Sinar Harian and all the newspapers actually was very helpful and shouting about us. And now we have about 300 coalition with us, which include people like Bersih, C4, Ikram, and it's across the board, different races, different background, different religious, what you call that, groups. So what happened is we have done our plan. We have a medium-term, short-term, and long-term plan. And like things like this Apa Dah Jadi video and the MERDEKA-kan kami daripada Rasuah was planned much earlier, and we release it as it goes. And we also have plans in October, November, December, and up to the next 2 years. We have some ideas what we're going to do. So it is actually a clinically, methodologically organized group. And we meet every Saturday, except we think we miss a couple of Saturdays because of Raya and all that. But other than that, every Saturdays, actually we meet the team. And a very, very active, very serious and very dedicated team. And we divided into, we have economic side, we have the, politics and election side, we have the, what you call the belia, we have business, yeah. So we are breaking ourselves into different subgroups, and it will start moving deeper and deeper. We want to go down, to the ground.
Yeah, no, ChunWai, can I interject? Like, so
please,
it's like when Anas and myself, we were discussing about the song. So the discussion of the song would be 15 minutes, and then we'd spend the rest of the hour talking about the whole initiative.
Yes, correct. And
talking about what's happening.
Every time we meet, we end up talking another 1 hour about things like this. Yeah. He's really interested. He is really in touch with the ground. He's really interested. I find Douglas extremely professional, and I really enjoy working with him. And the fact
this is probably the most organized private sector initiative of loose organization. That has come in so in a very organized way. Although it's loose, but it's very organized. How have you been able to? What would be your target groups? Target audience.
A very good question, ChunWai. At the beginning, when we do Mak Kata Jangan, you notice Mak Kata Jangan is actually targeting the more, we say, adult. So we started adult. But what happened is we discovered that, number one, Malaysians, teenagers and above are already a little bit, what you call, have this norm of it's okay to take Rasuah. So we realized we need to have a longer term plan, 15, 20 years. We have to change the next generation. So that's why we come up with this MERDEKA-kan kami daripada Rasuah, which you notice we target children. Anything between 6 to 11 years old. And that's why we work with Alvin Teo and L. Isaac. Alvin Teo is from Naga DDB, and also L. Isaac is from Super Wonderful World. And we work with them with 4 kids. And you notice we purposely are typical Malaysian. Just like when we work with Douglas, we want to make it a Malaysian affair. Simply here we have not just the Malay kid talking to his God, but Muslim kid, but also Taoist, Buddhist, Christian, and so Hindu. And you notice in the conversation, you see kids at below 12 years old, they don't really grasp what is Rasuah. So Alvin was, concerned about it. Both of us talking about it. He says, why don't we make it like the children asking God, what is it? And it worked very well. But what we want to do is we want to convince parents, that kids may not understand about Rasuah, but kids will learn from your feelings, from your reaction to it. So kids actually learn from parents' emotion. They may not understand about Rasuah, but they know by the way you look at Rasuah in a way which is, I say, Rasuah is not good, children will learn to hold it. And in fact, ChunWai, By the time you're our age, those of us who don't take Rasuah, it's not because of logic. We take Rasuah because of emotion. Another person can tell you a logical story. You know, Chunwai, I give you 100 million, you can help the poor. No? Logically, it's quite a smart idea. No? But if let's say you emotionally say, no, Rasuah is not good for you, yeah, you're not going to take it. And this only can happen if we already had Rasuah, this hatred, or hatred towards Rasuah.
Demonize it. Do you demonize it?
From an early age, yeah. So that's what we wanted to do with this MERDEKA-kan kami daripada Rasuah video. And the 4 kids are cute. And the fantastic things, just like, you know, how we work with Douglas, everything is done virtually, you know, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, all the kids, the mother hold the video. Yeah.
I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very professional.
Very professional. And one of the things that Alvin and I decided is, it must be one take. We don't want to say something, cut. We don't want. So you notice all 4 is one take. It's okay if it's not perfect, but it has to be one take. Yeah. So I thought it was done very, very well. And again, just like Douglas, this group also do it national service one, you know.
Really,
Douglas, I cannot afford things like this. We need to look for people, please, tolong, you know, that's what I did.
Hey, Anas, you don't keep on coming back to tell me about national service over and over again.
National service one. Yeah.
But this Anas, the 4 kids, how were they selected? I mean, they look really professional.
This is where Alvin Teo and L. Isaac, they did a good job. I mean, these are professionals, executive creative director, and he is the other guy is the founder of director of a production house. So I left it up to them. You see, as I was suggesting earlier, if we have good ideas, we need to just get good people, and they will do a good job. I mean, I don't have to, you know, when it pass to Douglas, it just come out as gold. Same goes with Alvin and L. Isaac. We pass it to them. They are professional. They are very dedicated. Their heart is the right place. And they were like Alvin, they will text and say, is it okay or not, sir? I say, hey, these fellas, they are smarter than me, but they're asking me, you know. So I say, hey, okay, bro, don't worry. Okay, go ahead. They are professionals. These fellas are professionals.
But the kids, where do they get it from?
Through what you call production houses. They go to talent search.
So they will have their bank of talents to choose.
Talent search. Very good. The kids.
Yeah. And again, that it is all one take that's quite interesting. I don't want to ask Douglas this question. You know that every time when we talk about corruption, we only in our mind, or it must be the police, you know, hiding under the tree, you know, somewhere, and then the politician, slimy politician, need money all. But actually, many of us are guilty as well. Many Malaysians they condemn corruption, but actually they are quite susceptible and willing to be the giver to get themselves out of trouble, because Malaysians love this shortcut thing. And this particular aspect is somehow not discussed. If you do not give to the mata-mata, then there would not have been any corruption. But the giver sometimes says that, you know, after giving already, they wall up the policeman. Oh, really cow. So like today, the cabinet list came out. Oh, they all condemn like crazy. This one cannot, that one cannot. Lousy, this guy, blah, 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 blah. And then I replied to this chat group. I said, oh, this guy, actually, I know him, you know. Friend of mine. You know what was the next comment? Hey, bro, got kang tao. An hour ago, they wall up this guy. After I told you I know him, hey, got kang tao, not got lubang, no, please introduce. I'm like, hey.
No.
So, Douglas, what's your view?
I think, so when I did the video about the apa nak jadi, I thought I was covering corruption, as in Rasuah, giver or taker. To me, corruption is corruption, right? The feedback that I got was, why aren't you calling out those who give? And in my mind, I was like, I'm calling out all corruption, those who give and those who take. For me, the definition is like this, all right? So say, no, if no one gives, then no one will take. Yeah. There was a time when no one gave, but the takers took, except that it wasn't called corruption, it was called protection money. It's the same thing. It's extortion.
Yeah.
So if you don't give, they extort law. If you give, it's corruption. But it's the same thing, what? It's like what? You think the peasants back in China during Shi Huangti's time were offering bribes? No, they were peasants. They had nothing. But you know those officials will come and demand money, demand what they call that extortion. Then later only when the peasants, when they become successful, they become taukes, they continue the same thing. They'll give money. Corruption is corruption. Whether it's you are giver or taker, or in my opinion, it's just that if something you're not supposed to do it, doing it in a shortcut way involving money is disgusting. The problem with Malaysia is not only is it accepted, it's expected. That's how bad it become, I feel. Where you're like, we are shocked if someone goes like, hey, this person don't take one, no. You're like, huh? Got such thing on we are like, no, this isn't, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And obviously that for me, I don't think we can come back, but I've seen countries that can come back. I think 2 examples for me is Hong Kong. The ICAC somehow became really good, and then apparently Hong Kong got cleaned up very well. The other one was a personal experience when I went on a holiday in Greece. This was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I was in Greece for a holiday in a bus. We were traveling. The tour guide was like, no, the bus must stay at a speed limit. And also the Malaysian there were like, just give $50 lah. and the tour guide was like, no. No. Greece, last time, yes. Now, no. I was like, oh, can change one. Then maybe we have hope.
Okay, that's good. So Anas, macam dah mau selesai ni. Tolong bagi pandangan.
I think something like corruption have to be taken into it is a social issue. I would suggest we need to look both medium, short term and long term. We need to look at people, process and structure. We have to change the people. We have to look at processes. We have to create structures. As ChunWai, as you say, people, business and all that. I think business people do not want to give corruption a bribe. But if let's say, you see, business people, ChunWai, we want speed. So if let's say I'm doing a property or I'm selling cars and I need to have all these, what you call borang, all have to be approved fast. But if the person delay, I cannot do my business. So our apportion, I'm not saying I condone it, but I know it's happening. So as a businessman, I will apportion part of the corruption money as part and parcel of my cost, because I want to get it done. Whether the business person like it or not, no, they don't. Actually, we've been talking to how to solve the problem. For example, ChunWai and Douglas, to get what you call approval to build properties, according there are 14 different departments, and each department got their rules. And their rules could be archaic or not. It's the rule from the time of the British, and actually everybody knows the rule is no longer relevant. But I can use the rule to just hold you back, things like this we need to do. This is where we need to change processes and structures. Besides doing what we are doing now, trying to change people, we need to make sure we look at, that's why at Rasuah Buster, we have set up what you call, a business tanpa rasuah. How are we going to help each industry? We're going to go industry by industry. How do we clean up? We cannot have 100%, but we want to mitigate it. So we want to make it easier for business people to do business. You see, for example, ChunWai, let's say I want to set up what you call a supermarket, near one area. So I need a lot of approval, from the, for the building, for the bomba, from the water authorities, even agama authority, all that you got one. Now, you see, the danger is this, the people who take rasuah don't understand. When you take rasuah, you delay people getting jobs, that supermarket probably can employ, let's say, 300 people. You are denying 300 people, 300 families income, So all this we have to deal. How do we make it faster? So business people can start and run a business faster. So people got jobs earlier and got salary to take home. And this is what we have to do: people, process, structure, and obviously the last but not least is we need to change the culture. As what Douglas said just now. Now people say, you don't take, you stupid. That's what they say. So in other words, if you don't take, you're considered stupid. So we have to take that.
Obviously, that the system has got to change. To cut down the manual work and paperwork, because they will give space for corruption. In many countries, you just apply online, you don't see the person there, and there's a specific period and a cut-off point. If it's 2 weeks, process past 2 weeks, 1 week. And even in India, for tender process, they publish it on their website. This is what the rivals have offered, and this is what your opponent. So everybody know exactly what each other has been offered and what they put in their tender. And everybody know exactly why this guy won. There's no all this quiet secretive way. And this is what we should really move forward in a very practical way.
And later AI, bro. Artificial intelligence. Even more powerful.
I want to move on to another subject with corruption, okay? But basically, maybe it doesn't involve money. And a lot of people in the private sector talks about it now. Is this a way of corruption? Some call it networking, but it is a way of influencing your way up to the top. So the boss says that, okay, guys, 5 o'clock now, man, let's go to the pub and hit the pub, and then you drink, chit chat, for guys, it's okay, man, all guys talk about football, then throw in a little bit about women, or having good laugh. The poor women can't join in, okay? She can't go to this conversation, she can't go to this pub drinking, and she loses out in the process. And even in terms of promotion, she may even lose out. There's no money involved, but is this a form of corruption? More and more of private sector think that this is a form of bribery. What is your take, gentlemen?
Douglas first, yeah.
I know when Natasha, my wife, worked over in the UK, they had very strict behavior policies, and to me it was absurd. But they go to the extent where giving your boss a greeting card for Christmas was not allowed. That means no gifts, even greeting cards.
Yeah.
It's not allowed, because that will be seen as a bribe, or basically you are trying to promote yourself beyond your capabilities in your job. To us, that's ridiculous. In Malaysia, we're like, it's right. I just give a gift. Like, if I make something, I just give it. There's no, we don't expect anything in return.
Back. Yeah.
But I can see how it can be misconstrued, because it's more litigious. Litigious? Is it like litigation? It's not really about whether they get, but it's anyone else looking. Someone else might look and go like, oh, you give. Oh, that's why you got the promotion, because when your birthday, you give the cake to the boss. Then big lawsuit will happen. You see? So like your example just now about like guys going out with the boss, drinking, telling stories. Some guys may not actually like it, but we will do it because we think it gives an advantage. And why do we do that? Because guys maybe don't have the opportunity of wearing tight skirts and pretending to pick up pieces of paper to attract the same person, you see? That's what I'm saying, right? We use what we have.
I'm with Douglas with this. You have to be careful to draw the line. I like to give this example. The example is like this. If let's say right now, I have my team, let's say we are a supplier to a big organization. I'm one of the main supplier. And what I do is every end of the year, I would have, for example, a telematch or something kind of party where we sponsor our people and our clients' people. They come together, have fun, because we are working, the last whole year anyway. I consider it very good customer service or key account management. Yeah, I think I don't see that as a bribe. But if I were to take money and pay to the person who's going to make a decision, I take the person for holiday, only the 2-3 fellas who are going to make a decision to influence the person to give me business, that's a bribe. So I think we need to, I agree with Douglas, don't push it until so far, like cannot even take somebody out makan. No, I mean, this is, we have to be careful. When I used to work in a multinational, the deal is this. If today my contractor or my vendor take me out makan, next week I'll take them out makan. So it's like a reciprocate, we reciprocate lah, not that the person give me. And also last time, what we do is, if let's say our distributor give us what you call a big, hamper, we will open it, because if the hamper got money, we return back, we take all the things, we open up, we give to everybody. So that's what we do. Because sometimes the hamper got 5,000 ringgit, that one you do already. That one you must return back, So there must be some kind of parameters lah. Cannot until cannot go out makan, like that susah lah.
Anas, a lot of company now says no gift policy, but we know there's a lot of in Malaysia, fantastic looking at the what do you call it, lubang lah, there's a lot of loopholes lah. So cannot send to the office, they send to the house. Yeah. What's your take on that?
Well, I think personally, I think we have to draw the line. What is no gift policy? I think, like you say, we find a way out on that. So I think we should allow what gift. You must say, there's certain business, certain business. I think you need to do some little bit more detailed work. No gift policy is problematic. For example, for me, one of the things I do when I talk to the CEOs or MDs, Well, we are talking, and then he doesn't know, let's say the CEO never heard of Peter Drucker. So I will tell you, you know what, you should read Peter Drucker because really good for you. You get all your top management, your management to read Peter Drucker. And if I have extra pieces, I will just give him one. You know what we do, even you also pass me something, I pass you something.
I pass you nasi kandar.
Yeah. We don't do that because we want to, we genuinely think, hey, Peter Drucker, for me, Peter Drucker,
Big thing.
My guru.
The guru.
So I want to share. So things like this, I'm not doing that because, you'll be
Yeah,
insulting to that MD just because I give you Peter Drucker, you give me business. I think we have to be careful how we do that.
Also, I think at the same time, a lot of people resort to things like this because getting the job done or getting what you want on the surface or rather above board purely on merit is hard to achieve in Malaysia. I cannot compete fairly with everyone else above board because maybe the culture here is, sorry, we are not going to pick you solely on merit. We are going to we're going to promote, we are going to advance people we have interest in. And so then you try and play the system lah. So like Anas was saying earlier on, a lot of what we think about corruption is about the person, about how we think, about our greed, but really a lot of it can be solved with transparent processes, a structure that doesn't even allow for any negotiation to happen.
Yeah. I mean, what is missing, for example, is really transparency and honesty. It's just like a certain GLC, we insist that the vendor must be 100% Bumi company. So a lot of Chinamen will ban it around. They have proxy company, they have partners, and the result is that the cost is passed on to the company actually. They won the contract, but it's passed on to the what they call it, to the company. So that kind of thing happen as well. Okay.
But Malaysian will find a way out.
Yeah.
Brilliant. In the way, we are quite brilliant. So yeah.
In a way, like for example, so they want to send their kids to certain reputable school. So they start borrowing what they call it, water bills, utility bills. I say, oh my God, you want to borrow my bill for what? Your name is not there. so you have these shortcuts. The long term of what about Anas? What about have you asked religious leaders to in their Friday prayers or a prayer sermon, Sunday sermon, to tell them about how bad corruption is? Are you all using their
Yes. The good news is, we've been getting a lot of support, especially Selangor, a lot of support. And there's a few times now, Friday prayers are talking about it. You notice Sultan of Selangor also talks a lot about it now. And I think what we have done is, RealChunWai, we also have a team that works with religious leaders, not just among the Muslim. We have contact with the church. We have contact with the Buddhist group, the Hindu group. We in fact we wanted to make like a gathering like a few months ago, but we prefer the gathering to be face to face rather than online. That's why we have delayed it. In fact, this MERDEKA-kan kami dari Rasuah, daripada Rasuah, we wanted to launch together with them because it'd be nice to have the church, the mosque, the leaders of different religions to launch these 4 different prayer from children, but that only is nice. We do it face to face, so we decided to just release it. Yes, we will work through them also, with them.
Beside Douglas, what about using social influencers, especially the younger ones who have got very big reach through the social media?
Actually, we are working with a team of young people. We call it Belia Tanpa Rasuah. We are working on something. Somewhere early October, we will do something. Correct. We see. We don't realize we are old. So they actually have different ideas. So when we talk to them, sorry, bro. They're in the 50s and 60s.
Anas, when you have to use SM Saleh,
you know
that you're old. Okay.
So what happened is when we listen to them, we say, oh my God, these fellas, we do not know what we do not know. And the young people have ideas. And in fact, tomorrow I'm meeting a pro tem group of young people, multiracial group, and we will start this, like a Rasuah Buster youth group, And the idea is, I want to tell them, please, you guys lead us, in this area. I may not know what you know, because the world is changing so fast and so differently. Yes, bro, we are going to do that. And there's another group of people, and we have MBM, Majlis Belia Malaysia. and their group of friends. We have a Belia group from Sabah, Sarawak. The Sarawak team is very, very active. They're really starting to do the groundwork. And somewhere in October, we're going to have some explosive things. Yeah. Yeah, we actually quite organized in that sense. We have different things happening. We slowly but surely organize our team using group to group, structures. Yeah, and we hope that by the time we hit 2 or 3 years, yeah, we will permeate the entire country. We hope we can do that. Yeah.
Anas Douglas, our level of corruption, it used to be just as we say that 10 ringgit, 50 ringgit. Then we have actually now become so ill-reputable because of one MDB. It has become of global proportion and really a global disgrace to Malaysians. I was on a trip to London maybe a few years back. I was sitting in the coffee shop having a coffee, and then this lady served me coffee. She was on the spin, and that she asked me, "Sir, where are you from?" I say, "I'm from Malaysia." And the first thing she told me was, "Oh, one MDB." Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. I mean, it was like being kicked down at the bottom there. So that's how bad that we have come. So the enormous proportion is really amazing. I'm really glad that you all have started this Rasuah Buster thing. It will take a long time. It will take a while. But I think that it is good that it is done within the community, because it needs to be a community work. Yeah. Douglas, any of your friends who are coming on board this movement?
I haven't spoken to a lot of them because of my work. Obviously, I have not had time. But a few of them, I have a lot of friends who are in the entertainment industry, and as small as we are, we also encounter, so many cases. It's just so dumb, where the corruption culture trickles down to even the smallest of people. I remember there was this one story where we're doing a theatre production. Okay, I wouldn't name the theatre. So name theatre production, and we wanted to just have our own caterer to put the table to eat, because for us to travel to the canteen and then come back. So we just wanted to so first day, all right, second day, all right, third day, so you can't eat here. You can't eat along the corridors because we put our tables along. Can't eat here. So we said, can you give us a room to eat? There are a few rooms upstairs that you're not using. They're empty. So no, we can't put you there. You can, however, set up a tent in the parking lot area. So we're like, okay, that's good. Thank you for giving us an alternative. And we're like, yep, you can set up a tent there. Here's a contact for the 10th person. So you see, enter like that,
Wow.
So a lot of entertainers will jump on this thing, because most of the time, by the time the contract of a show or whatever comes to us, it is third subcon, fourth subcon already. People ask us, hey, why the quality of your show so low? Because by the time the money comes to us, there's not much left. So if only we could have stopped all of this. I don't know why Company A is getting a contract from the station, because Company A is not even in production. So then Company A subs it to Company B, who's also not in production, who subs it to Company C, who's not in production. Eventually coming to Company D, who does production. By this time, 50% of the money is gone.
Fourth level already. Oh my God.
No, that's why I think one of the things we did talk, Douglas, is that one of the industry we want to look besides sports is actually entertainment. But we have to handle industry by industry. How do we cut down? We cannot 100% eradicate corruption, but how do we, mitigate it? Like things like this, how do we cut it down? Because as I think Douglas, you're correct, because if you get the bigger amount money, we can make our movies better, we can make our production better, then we become world class. Now, and what happened is this, if that happened, we make more money, everybody become rich. This is the whole idea. You see, one of the things we wrote in our Rasuah Busters charter is that the corruption is bad for economy. Corruption causes poverty. Corruption is taking away resources where it should be plowed in back correctly into the economy in the correct way, and where we all will be successful. And this is the problem. And we need to do something about it. If not, rugi lah. We will rugi.
Yeah. The reality is that corruption is costing this country billions of ringgit that has been drained away, and that's real. And you hear stories whether real or not. For example, you and I must have heard about files going missing in certain buildings. We're supposed to enforce law and to interpret law, and then this can happen. So it is really, really worrying. Now, I just want to have two words, last words from Douglas and Anas as we conclude this program. Anas and then Douglas will have the final shot. Douglas.
First, thank you to you and also to Douglas for helping us in Rasuah Busters. And the last but not least, since this is for Merdeka, and please join us in this call to Merdeka-kan lah kami daripada Rasuah. If you can, please get all your children, take beautiful, cute pictures of them, put them up like that and say MERDEKA-kan kami Rasuah for the Muslims, for the Christians and all that. And if you can, just look at Douglas video and try to act and dance like him and just say apa dah. Just remember the chorus. Apa dah jadi sampai sekarang rasuah lagi. That's all. You don't have to remember the entire song. Just put it in your video, put it in your TikTok. Let's load the market and just say apa dah jadi sampai sekarang rasuah lagi. Thanks. Pass to you now.
Douglas.
The reason why I am so against this is because I see what it can do, and one of the people it affected was someone I respect a lot, and that is my dad. And he was one of those old school military people who was straight as an arrow, and because of his principles of being 100% anti-corruption, he was not allowed to achieve his fullest potential. I feel.
I see.
And so I always feel that he could have become a lot better, but because he refused to play ball, he opted for earlier retirement and so on and so forth. But I mean, he's happy now. I mean, he's playing with his grandchildren and everything. But I think he could have been a lot more based on his work ethic, based on his tenacity, based on his discipline. He was not allowed to do that, I feel. And a big part of that was because of rampant corruption.
Douglas, what is the Merdeka wish?
Wow, this was suddenly a surprise on me.
Impromptu thing. Give havoc to Douglas.
Wow, my Merdeka wish. I wish we can be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
I think be as honest as possible to evaluate, and don't be afraid to admit that there might be something wrong. Because if we don't admit that there's something wrong, how to fix?
Okay. Anas?
My Merdeka wish is Malaysian, try to be honest on both sides. I think in the world of politics for Malaysia, we fail miserably in being honest on both sides. And if we can do that, we can actually change our politics, and by so doing, we will change our country too.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the presence of the two gentlemen here, Douglas, Anas, for sharing your thoughts on how we can make Malaysia better. In particular, MERDEKA-kan Malaysia dari Rasuah. It's a long journey. Some of us may not be around anymore, but we hope that our kids, our grandkids will take up this battle and to continue making Malaysia a really great place. But hey, guys, this is Merdeka Day. This is the National Day. We are all celebrating, and we have reasons to celebrate. I know a lot of you guys down there feel pessimistic. There's no hope for Malaysia, but we really feel very different. We think there's hope for Malaysia. And look, absolutely, we are resilient people. And look around, Malaysia is one of the safest country in the world. It's stable and peaceful, despite having a weak government. And last week, no government, okay? And that we have carried on quite well. So really, guys, it's time to really party and to join SM Salim led by Douglas. Okay, let's joget, guys. Yeah. Apa nak jadi?
Waiting for you, bro.
Apa dah
Just
jadi?
play the song lah. I think they're gonna pipe in this song, is it? Cunwai, you're gonna edit this song in?
The song will
Apa
appear, the song
nak
will appear.
jadi? Apa nak
Okay, guys.
jadi?
Thank you.
Sampai sekarang ambil dan
The song will
bagi
appear.
tak boleh jadi.